Greetings. Part of the American experiment is the desire to achieve perfection, whether political or spiritual. A manifestation of this desire was the utopian movements of the mid-19th century. The Oneida Community was part of this 19th century movement to achieve perfection through communal living. The Oneida Community rejected the Calvinist belief in predestination and its rejection of human agency in the way people live their lives and practice their faith. The Oneida Community was part of the perfectionist movement and its desire to return human agency back to humans that the Calvinists had taken away. The Oneida Community's goal was to reshape society with a combination of faith and science. To reach spiritual perfection, John Noyes, founder of the Oneida Community, preached that all belong to God, and claiming ownership would interfere with the goal of attaining spiritual perfection, otherwise known as biblical communism. The main element of the Oneida Community's communal living was men and women living in communal harmony with each other. All belonged to all, but within the limits of the rules and communities. Nonconformists to the rules of the community were denied access to the free love of the community. Part of achieving perfection for the Oneida Community was the free love elements, in which none belonged to anyone and all belonged to all. Also part of the abandoning of traditions was the abandonment of gender norms. Women would abandon traditional dress and would wear their hair short and wore pants as a meaning of freeing women from the distractions of adornment so they could pursue perfection. Part of the perfection process was the focus on self-improvement for education and introspection. To encourage self-improvement, Noyes established a system called mutual criticism, where regularly the groups would join together with the goal of perfecting the community through criticisms and point out the flaws of their neighbors. The goal is through pointing out flaws in each other, they'd be able to achieve greater perfection through understanding their faults. Scientifically, the adoption of eugenics was a means of physically perfecting the community. There is little evidence left of the methods which they used, but they used through selective breeding and finding the proper family groupings. The goal was to create a more perfect society, embracing the latest scientific ideas of eugenics combined with their spiritual ideas. On a large scale, the Oneida Community fits within the expansion of democracy within the United States. As Jacksonian democracy incorporated more and more people into the political process, and the transcendentalist ideals gave individuals responsibility for their own actions and who they chose to be as people. The Oneida Community's goal was to fit within the American desires to make a country a better place for the actions of individuals, to reform the hierarchical nature of the society through communal living and biblical communism.